going to keep it short this week because there's very little to say, and I don't really have the energy or impetus to say it. So if you wouldn't mind just quickly skipping the intro and coming right back here, and we'll wrap up as quickly as possible. Thank you. Space. A continuous extension interval between planets, stars and other objects. These are the critiques of the critic McElvoy. His continuing mission to review strange new shows, to seek out new work and new bastardizations, to boldly note what no critic has noted before. Before I get into this week's episode, I just want to note something which has really crystallised in my consciousness this week and has made me feel extremely sad and melancholy. What is it? It's the instances of actors from the previous era of Star Trek, the Berman era of Star Trek, rallying to support the current regime.
That's what I loved about Strange New Worlds. I felt a real alignment. I felt sort of like the cosmic alignment with Gene Roddenberry, weirdly, And
there was a fearlessness about taking big swings on Strange New Worlds.
Big swings. I mean, the episode, where, she's with the Gorn for the whole episode on the planet, and there's so many bold thing. The musical episode.
I did the animated crossover episode. With Tawny Newsom and Jack Quaid. It was hysterical.
Yeah, hysterical, and but bold. There was no timorousness to it, which is
great use of the word timorousness.
Thank you.
To speak in, if you like, guarded or positive terms about Alex Kurtzman and the work that he is doing, either because they've worked with him and therefore they sort of feel that they are complicit. They're part of, Star Trek's Vichy government, if you like. Or they, perhaps in the case of a few people from Enterprise, are hoping for a job sometime soon. Apparently unaware that Alex Kurtzman's contract is coming to an end, and he almost certainly won't have much to do with Star Trek going forward, at least if there's any God. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about sycophants like Jonathan Frakes and Brent Spiner. I'm talking about Kate Mulgrew turning up on Twitter to defend people who've criticised Holly Hunter in Starfleet Academy. I'm talking about two wastrels from Enterprise in the Decon Chamber podcast agonisingly trying to make swearing sound progressive and forward-thinking in an interview with Paul Giamatti, in which Paul Giamatti, God love him, tries his best to put a brave face on the work he's done on this show, although it's clearly highly uncomfortable for him to do so.
And that's an interesting thing about the new version of Trek, is that it is modernized more so. And I've gotten used to that. It did jump out at me initially that, Bob Picardo, who's a dear friend, he says something super something, and I'm like, if we could avoid another direct hit, that would be super helpful. He didn't just say that.
He says chicken shit at one point. He did. Really like.
Yeah.
He had to say it. He was kind of like, I can't believe I'm having to say chicken shit. And that's true, but, everything has changed,
Yes, and it's taken, Yeah, I got married in the summer, and my wife has been a big Trek fan for a long time, and she's educated me to the fact that this is what Trek is. Yeah. It is always pushing the boundaries of ahead of its time.
True.
And Mr. Kurtzman and Mr. Goldman have done that in spades with their shows.
It's an awful, miserable spectacle, and it does sort of make you think, gosh. Yes, gosh. What are we all doing? Living in a world of denial. A sad place to be. Even sadder place to be is watching episode 7 of Starfleet Academy. It's called Cozine. What's a cozine? It's a best man. Whose wedding is it? It's Darem's, the Brit, who's also an alien from somewhere else. In a sort of a mock time, quasi a mock time scenario, he's kidnapped to fulfill an arranged marriage. He's going to become world king, even though he's, 17 or whatever. But he doesn't want to be, does he? Because he's gay. He's got gay feelings for Jay-den and the Klingon, who follows him through the portal and is the aforementioned best man. So, bit of conflict there. And then in a parallel plot, Genesis and Caleb remain on campus. So, on one hand, you've got The Holdovers, the Paul Giamatti movie without Paul Giamatti. And on the other hand, you've got A Mock Time, but without any of the threat. There's no character here who, is spazzed out on hormones, and there's no fight to the death, so no stakes, frankly. And no stakes could have been the episode's title, because literally nothing of any major consequence happens here. This is filler. This is the kind of pause and reflect episode that used to punctuate longer seasons of Star Trek. But it earned it back then because it had 26 episodes to play with, not just 10. When you have 10, you don't have time to muck about. You don't have reasons to have a filler episode. You've just wasted an episode. And that's what they've done here. They've just wasted one. The point of the episode, the point of both plots, is for these 4 characters to reflect on their relationships and themselves. Who are they, man? What do they want? Where are they going? Are they in the right place? Have they made the right life choices? Darem's got to work out, is he a space homosexual, or is he going to marry the beautiful queen of his world and live in boredom thereafter? Well, I suppose as long as that royal family has no connections to a space Jeffrey Epstein, they've got nothing to worry about. And the other plot, Genesis is offered a fast track to become a captain, but then has to come back and infiltrate the Athena's bridge to get a thing, to look at her record, her application, because she lied on it. How did she lie? She changed some words in the letters of recommendation which exposed some character flaws. which aren't really character flaws. Things like she's slightly fearful individual or something, which is apparently is a problem, and that's the episode. So Darem's not under any pressure whatsoever not to go through the wedding. There's no stakes. It's not as if the bride says, well, you know our traditions, Darem. If you don't marry me, you have to be castrated. Or, if you don't marry me, I have to kill myself. Something like that. Something that would give him a real moral dilemma to chew over. But he's got nothing to chew over. There's nothing to talk about here. She's really, really nice. She doesn't put him under any pressure whatsoever to go through with it. He chooses to do so out of childhood loyalty because it's an arranged marriage and he's known her all her life. Jay-den makes a speech, the best man speech, in which he just draws attention to all the things that this guy has done at the academy, and that's enough for the new wife to say, oh, maybe this is a mistake, let's annul our marriage, you go back to the academy, and I'll rule this planet alone, as I could have done in the first place. So what's been the point of it all? Only that, rather than put any skills to the test that he might have accrued as a potential Starfleet officer, Darem just realises where he wants to be. You know? Where he's meant to be, and that he's probably gay. What does Genesis work out about herself? Well, don't lie on your application. Don't doctor your letters of recommendation, I suppose. She has the offer of the fast-track captaincy withdrawn because she broke rules by trying to doctor her records. Caleb helped her inadvertently, but he's not punished at all. So the lesson for her is always tell the truth, and the lesson for him is he wants to be with Betazoid Girl, not Genesis. He's briefly tempted by Genesis. There's a little flicker of attraction toward Genesis, but in the end he decides he really wants Betazoid Girl. So he starts the episode by trying to write her a letter, and finishes by writing it. That was episode 7, which apparently has a budget of about $10 million. Did you know that for $10 million you could upscale all of Deep Space Nine? And they're the usual speech farts, a few shits, an arsehole. The idea that a Klingon might go to Ibiza for a holiday. In Jay-den's case, presumably to manumission. Genesis says ghosting. That word's still being used in the 32nd century. So there you go. You've got a low comedy, low drama episode. Barely worth speaking on. That's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed this review. Maybe you'll come back for another. Maybe you won't. Does any of it really matter? I'm going to do a lot of reflection about what I really want and what my place is in this, whatever this is. And I thank you for listening. Though not really. Goodbye.
Close the channel, Mr. Worf.
Gladly, sir.